CNN ain't see none of my friends. Swag gave me the blues, they never walked in my shoes. They want us living in fear, it ain't what I'm trying to hear. Switched it over to Fox, kept clicking, I barely stopped. New guest on NBC, no one that represent me, so I got tired of waiting. Sid master debate, give me some headlines, it must be past bedtime. Sleeping on me still like I ain't vitamin D for real. Rep your city, play devil's advocate, Wayne Brady gon' have to smack a bit. Tell me something good, a recipe for success. Give me some timeline, shop session and flight deck. Hey, P, what's next? Absolutely everyone who knows me well would accurately accuse me of being an overthinker. And I'm not cutting any of that stuff right there because I was trying to think of how to start the show. But really, all I had to do was start talking to y'all last about how to start the show. This your nigga C.O.D, the Cater Boy Music, man. Welcoming y'all to the flight deck, you know what I'm saying? Welcoming y'all to another episode of Gimme Some Headlines. We the motherfucking committee. Y'all already know it, man. And then we smoking on a little bit of white grape swisher. I ain't even gonna tell you what's in that game. Mind your business. Here you talking about. I ain't gonna tell you what's in that game. Mind your business. Here you talking about. But yeah, man, we gonna be on some wild shit today, as you can already see. We got the sound effects popping off, man. We really about to be on some other shit. And when I say we, you already know it ain't a party if I don't bring my nigga P. Hey.
It's your boy, P. Henry Trotter the Fourth, aka Home Run Try, aka Casino P, aka Mr. Long P, all by itself. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 7 of Give Me Some Headlines. What's that, man?
It's some motherfucking headline. What's up, G? As y'all can see, I always have my nigga P do the accounting stats because your boy, you know, I kick it off with the flight deck. So what episode we on again, bro?
7. Take it to hell.
7. Take your ass to hell, bro. And I had to invite you on in on the flight deck early, man. I couldn't even start talking to the people before I brought you up in there, guy, bro. Because I got to talk to you about something, man. You got Amazon Prime Video?
Yes and no. I have access to it.
You a dirtbag.
Yes.
All right, so this movie came out a while back, apparently, because I was listening to an old show, and they actually reviewed this movie that I'm about to talk about. And it was so different and counter to what my experience was. It made me feel like I needed to rewatch it, and I haven't rewatched it. And the movie I'm talking about is a little bit of Give Me Some Screen Time, talking about Michael B. Jordan without remorse. And also the dude, when he talked about him, he kept calling him Michael Jordan. So that said to me, this guy not a big Michael B. Jordan fan. He just went to watch a movie because it said Tom Clancy. He also kept talking about it don't follow the plot of the book at all. They just used the name because they had to pay the estate to use the character name as the main character in the story associated with that title, but the title don't follow the book at all. So said all that to say he went in there as a Harry Potter fan, and he didn't see Harry Potter. Hey, get your ass the fuck up out of here, kid. Cause tell you what that shit was. It was claction, classic action. You hear me? It was straight up motherfucking. Oh, okay. I think they muted it because they want to show me an ad. That's funny as shit.
They got to get that money, man. They bought they queens. They bought they Mario and Luigi's.
You can't silence me, cuz I'm unsilenceable. They said, watch us. That's hilarious. Well, anyway, I was trying to do some laser noises because that nigga was letting that thing go, bro. But it's a classic ass motherfucking revenge tale, bro. Somebody come in and off this nigga wife in the first 10 minutes and then it's over with. When I say the reckless abandon with which he moved through the rest of the movie, it's just the plot is driven by him solving the mystery of who's the head of the snake, who made the decision. You feel what I'm saying? Mm. And everything that happened around it is kind of contrived and it's kind of trying to say something about the climate of today. And also at the same time, kind of be this commentary about the plight of the melanated soldier and what fighting for your country's cause feels and looks like when you come back to this. You feel what I'm saying? Because his wife was killed. Oh, man, it would work when I say when his wife was killed. She was collateral damage. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a big plot twist. It is what creates the narrative of every action he take moving forward being without remorse. You see what I'm saying? That's what made the movie go without remorse or whatever. So on a scale of 1 to 10, on quality, I give about a 5. Visually, I give it about a 7. Action, I give that shit an 8.
Really?
Hell yeah, bro. Like
you watch a lot of movies. You watch a lot of movies.
The only reason I get an action an 8 is because of Michael B. Jordan and how ruthless he moved through it. If you want to see some good ass fight scenes, you're going to want to go watch a Mission Impossible. You know what I'm saying? But there's some good fight scenes in there, bitch. And there's some good tactical application stuff in it. And I don't want to describe too many things that happen. But the action sequences and visually, I get about a... Damn, you know what? For this to be the first one I review, I'm going to go 6 and 7.
Okay. That's high.
Because it's some ones that I'm going to have to... Yeah, I don't know if I get an 8. Actually, I'm going to get a 6 and a 6. I'm glad you... Motherfucker.
You watch a lot. You watch a lot of movies. We're gonna be reviewing a lot of movies, starting at 8 with Michael B. Jordan's Without Remorse, and starting very high.
Oof, yeah, that should have 5 then. Because I started thinking about, okay, so if Avatar's a 10, this should have 5 visually.
Okay.
Action wise, if Fast 5 is a 10. This don't have nearly enough driving sequences. You get Rock fighting Vin Diesel, so you can't say they wasn't fighting. And you get assault teams trying to take them out. Like, them niggas checked a lot of boxes in Fast 5. Whew. Damn. Yeah, so I go action a 6. And I'm going to write this down when I watch the episode back. Visually, it was a 5.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, keep track of these. At action, it was a 6. And coming up on future Give Me Some Screen Times in season 1, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going back to different years when different cool shit happened. And I'll be watching all of the movies nominated for Best Picture and choosing my own Best Picture.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna have a Give Me Some Headlines award show.
You already know, and we're gonna have an annual show for new movies. And instead of giving out an Oscar, we're gonna give out a black one, and it's gonna be called an Obsidian. Yeah. Give me some screen time. Michael B. Jordan's Without Remorse, available on Amazon Prime Video, free to anybody with Amazon Prime. You just log in with your same information. And it's a lot of different little stuff on there. Some comedians who done jump ship from Netflix, how they cutting the check, the Jim Gaffigans and stuff like that. But every now and again, they have a new little movie pop up and that thing be fire. And even though I gave it a 5 and a 6, cause Fred backed me down, cause it's compared to every movie ever instead of just how good of a time did I have watching it. Ooh, I need to add that. So visually, action, because it was an action what I rated, and plot, I get a plot of 3.
Okay.
I got to come up with my rating system. I'm gonna work on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on this, guys.
But
and we're gonna score
it. Like, this is good though, because we got to start somewhere, and you got to realize, man, once you actually go through it, what you run into and like what you critiquing, because you don't want it to be like the NBA MVP. It's not objective. You want it to be somewhat objective. Some of it got to be subjective because it's a piece of art, and the art is in the eye of the beholder. But yeah, we want our shit to have some kind of objectivity to it. So I would suggest, I highly suggest coming up with your rating system. Occasionally, them got a good one for their wines and shit. So that's a good thing to go look at for Wine on Wednesday. But shouts out to the homie.
You be on they nuts. Nah, I'm talking shit.
I do, man. I do.
They dope. They dope. They deserve all the love, though.
Well, she pulled this thing stiff, but
no innuendo.
No innuendo.
But yeah, man, in your episode, man, if y'all don't know, man, we doing this thing like Modern Family, man. They had 2 directors and they used to just go back and forth directing episodes. This a little bit transparency. So if y'all like one version of our show better than the other, like, damn, last week it was hidden, but this week I don't know. Tune in the next week. We're not gonna tell y'all who directing everyone. But just know, niggas be alternating, niggas be doing 2 in a row, but we take turns and we gonna give y'all a lot of different experiences in growing their product. You did.
Yeah.
This right here is a Spike P joint. New nickname alert.
Oh, damn. That's cold. That's cold. Spike looked so old sitting courtside the other day, bro. He was jumping
you got
up and down.
The beard. You got the beard to be crazy, nigga, courtside at every game. We just got to choose the city we gonna be in.
Man, that's what's up, man. Yeah, man. This one is directed by P. A Spike P joint. I like that. I like that a whole lot. Appreciate you for that. Got to get the t-shirts made.
You're welcome, my dog. Hey!
But yeah, so the next topic, man, I want to swing into is no Bill Cosby.
Spike P joint, no Bill Cosby.
No Bill Cosby. Fuck out of here with that guy. I've seen some things as of late, like I always do, because I walk around with my eyes open. But
can I pause you for a second?
Yeah.
I got so high in my infinite wisdom, and by that I mean smoking the herb that connect me to everybody else who ever smoked that herb that's in the grandfather chain of that seed and get the wisdom up out that guy. That's just some shit I made up. Don't believe that about weed, kids. But the tea I'm drinking tonight is some digestive assistance and stress relief tea made by Yogi. And they come with cool little messages on them. And I wanted to start sharing my teas with you guys. And the message is, the unknown is where all outcomes are possible. Enter it with grace. And I believe this right here in particular definitely need to be shared as we keep going deeper and deeper on this journey with Gimme Some Headlines. Because we taking not only a big leap of faith, but a big leap of honesty to be transparent with things that we normally wouldn't share because people are very adverse to things that weren't contrary to what they already believe. People look for confirmation and not information. And here we just gonna have a conversation. Feel how you feel.
Yeah.
C.O.D. Decatur Boy Music and PHTIV P Henry Trotter the Fourth, Casino P, Mr. Long P all by itself.
Spike
Welcomes
P.
you to a motherfucking Spike P joint. And we are in no way, shape, form, or fashion responsible for the views, thoughts, words, and conversations had on this platform by the two individuals, C.O.D. Decatur Boy Music and P Henry Trotter IV, or Quintavious and Montavious Dyson, Quinn with the pen. Talk to the people.
Yeah, man. This, as I move further into the relationship that I'm in with my life partner, my lady, we get closer to the next stage of our relationship, which is being fianced and then getting married. And recently on my timeline, I saw this wonderful, beautiful, melanated woman in a park. It looked like a lovely park, like a nice, clear day. They was on the sidewalk, this woman, and she had some people in one area.
Birds chirping, dogs barking.
Man, it was nice. Squirrels was up in the trees eating nuts. Man, it looked like the breeze was blowing because the little grass had like a little flitter to it. It was real cute. And she was giddy as hell. I remember her being absolutely giddy. And she was just the bashfulness and excitedness and it looked like a little bit of nervousness in her mannerisms. And there was a gentleman standing there with some dreads tied in the ponytail. He was dressed in some jeans. And she like they was both dressed real nice, and there was just people all around them. And that woman got down on her knee and proposed to that man. I didn't hear any audio, but I knew that's what had happened because he looked at her like he wanted to kick her in the chest, but he didn't. He did not do that. And as I move closer to that point,
might be
in my
projecting a
relationship,
little bit there, my friend.
Yeah, I am. He got down on the knee, and she got down on the knee. I'm sorry. Yeah, Freudian slip because that is not what happened. She got down on the knee. She proposed to this gentleman, and I don't know whether he confirmed that he was okay with this and that he would move forward by marrying her, or whether like the video cut before I could see any resolution.
He stuck his hand out. It was a ring box, and he did like this.
Oh, for real?
That's how he did. That's how he did. We might dub the video onto this for y'all.
Yeah, what we're gonna talk about on this, give me some timeline today. This is a mass debaters topic of women proposing to men. Hate it or love it. Love it or flush it. I do not agree with this. Especially actually, whatever's for you is for you. I don't agree with this personally. This is, and like he said, the views and opinions of the host of this show solely belong to the individual who is speaking into the mic about
as we introduce you guys to different new segments, we're gonna kind of over explain them just so you understand what's going on. And for the point of mass debaters, we both just take a side. These really are not our views, but understand this. Nigga, not only am I for women proposing to niggas, I feel like this how it should have always been. You hear me? Now, back in the day when they started this tomfoolery, tomfuckery called marriage, a bitch came with a Bentley, a moose, a horse, oxen, 3 pigs, land, acreage, a dowry, and an inheritance if she didn't have brothers. If you treated her right, her father would give you his, because that is the family to him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's devolved into the man being beholden to everything he's always been beholden to, with none of what came on the front end and absolutely no promise or guarantees. Because if they get divorced, he is still beholden to everything that a husband would be beholden to. You understand me? And if he is to ever have happiness, he got to figure out how to build a future family while still taking care of his old family. If he had children, if he has a wife, that's child support and alimony. You understand me? A woman don't leave a marriage and have to worry about taking care of another family in order to figure out her happiness moving forward. So with all the shit that a man is agreeing to, I'd be damned if a man run around asking for the opportunity. This a long time coming. These women pioneers. Jackie Joyner curses of the game. They running shit, you heard me? What say ye, nigga?
I wholeheartedly disagree. If anything, she didn't pull up with a Bentley, a
She did not.
donkey, no acres. She didn't. She came with a. I don't want no fucking ring in a box. This ain't this. If we gonna do this shit the way we gonna do this shit, like the way you talking, then let's do this shit a completely different way. Pull up with all that shit. Maybe then I'll be okay with it. You pull up with a fucking rock in a box, I am not with that shit. You ain't finna, and this is, and so if we get into these gender role conversations, and I'm like gender roles for like who washing dishes, who taking out the trash, blase, blah, who gonna do the cooking, who gonna do the cleaning, who gonna do the rearing of the child, who responsible for this, who responsible for that. I don't agree with any of that shit going to anybody in particular. But what I do think is a gender role is a man saying, hey, ma'am, sir, whoever, like on the other end of it, on the nigga getting on the knee is gonna be a man. I'm going to make that decision. I'm going to move into, and this is why I say this. Personally, this is why I say this. Oh. This is me. This is
keep running, because I got a counterpoint for your ass. Keep running. I got a counterpoint for your ass. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know me personally as a romantic. Like I am a romantic. My friends would call me, rightfully so, a romantic. You're not finna take that opportunity away from me to be able to give you a proposal. Like, she just got down on her knee in a park. That shit was so weak, bruh. Like, had she pulled up in a Bentley, had she pulled up on the back of a donkey, and in the back of the donkey, it was a covered wagon, and he pulled back the covered wagon and say, I got 40 acres, baby, and hit a mule. Like, we moving to the
want
country.
That ass
Will
forever.
You marry me? Right. I want that ass forever. She didn't
straight
say
on
that.
A donkey.
She pulled up. Bruh. The only thing she did that I found was impressive was she was wearing a skirt that was above her knees, and she put her knee on the pavement. I was like, that shit gotta hurt. And some heels, that shit gotta hurt. That's the only thing she did that was impressive. That took in. It didn't take no thought for that shit. Like, she just ambushed this man in the fucking park because he was not expecting that shit. So the problem that I have with this shit is, don't take away my ability to be creative and give you a proposal that knock you off your motherfucking feet and make you feel like you the most loved woman on the planet Earth. Like, that is my responsibility. I take that on as a man to show you that this is where I want to move with my life. I want to make you my queen. So let me give you a queen's proposal. I'm not gonna bend my knee in no weak ass park. I don't even know what park that was, bro. It wasn't no motherfucking flower petals on the ground for that man. It wasn't nothing special. It was just a random walk through the park that she happened to invite some friends to. Don't emasculate me by taking away my ability to show you I can be the opposite of what people think a man is, which is romantic. Like, nah, I'm not with that shit. And let Carmen, my lady, get down on the knee in front of me like that. She gonna catch the front end of this Bo Jackson I got. Get up. I'm pulling a Thule.
All
Get your
that's
ass
all
up.
fine and well, but if I could present a counterpoint, all this
We'll make
stuff
it a
is
debate.
connected. Dick. They Richard. I am not a Republican. I'm pretty sure he said something different. That was a Freudian slip for real. We don't talk politics unless it's a headline. I am not a Republican. I really cannot remember the real quote now. But anyway, bruh, I couldn't find my notes and I feel ashamed. But dog, the earliest remains of human beings found were in Northeast Africa, I believe. And they were all women. They created life through asexual reproduction. And women to this day have the glands and the ability to produce semen and produce asexually, but they just don't. Women literally created us. If you look at this creation myth of man being delivered from a woman's rib, like, yo, first of all, every person on the planet is grown. Not only is you shot out of a penis into a woman's ribs, you are then incubated, grown, and then delivered from a woman's ribs. So if you as a man believe a myth where they came from my rib, you just misinterpreted the myth and the game of telephone. It got broke down over time. That's how I've always seen it, on some common sense shit. Beyond that, scientifically, a Y chromosome is an X that is broken the fuck off. The Y chromosome is so much tinier than the X. They are the XX. You understand what I'm saying? Said all that to say this. Nigga, they God. Who the fuck are you to tell God they can't decide when your forever began? Or at least the engagement that lead to the wedding. If marriage and unions and being bonded forever and raising a family existed, for them to have existed without us, it had to have existed without a man being the nigga who did the proposing. So us starting to do it is some shit they gave us permission to do. And if we at a point in history where they taking it back, who the fuck is you to bitch about it? Especially with the partner you have and how you feel about wanting to be the nigga who proposed and loving her that strongly. Y'all life together has created that amount of strength. Who the fuck are you to tell God she can't do the proposing? Your response.
I really appreciate that. And you set that up for me wonderfully because I didn't know it was going to take the turn that it took with what you called them. You literally called them a god. In what world would a god come to a mere mortal?
Oh
no! In what world would a god come to a mere mortal and say, would you yours forever? Would you spend, because it's an asking. It's an asking. So when the mere mortal, when you are a mere mortal, you approach a goddess and you ask her, my goddess, this is what I've done. I am showing you this grand gesture of how I feel about you. You as a goddess, will you spend the rest of your eternity or the rest of my mere mortal ass, weak ass, bitch ass life that can't create life myself? Will you spend that with me, goddess? You ask the goddess and give her the opportunity to say yay or nay. Because if a goddess is approaching you, you don't have a choice because she is a goddess. She does not, you don't
I
get
can't
a
even
choice.
look at you.
You
missing the exclamation point. The getting on the knee. A god kneeling to a mortal.
A god kneeling to a mortal.
And I set you up.
World?
I gave you that to support that for there right here. Cause John got other books and other chapters other outside of 3. Well, not other books, it's a book. It got other chapters other than 3:16. John 13, 1 through 17 recounts Jesus' performance of this act. In verses 13, 14 through 17, he instructs his disciples, if I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you. Now, if the Lord will wash your feet, he got to get on their knee to do that. So the act of kneeling in prayer is not one that is one of subservience so much as it is the position for the act you are committing, vowing or invoking an oath. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The act of kneeling is one that gives power to your speech, to your words, the resonance. You understand what I'm saying? So while it is a humble gesture, it is not meek. It is bold. You understand what I'm saying? The act of prayer, the act of declaration, speaking something into existence, asking for something. Closed mouth don't get fed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is an act that leads to sustenance. So I don't see it as one where women are giving up power by doing it. And I also don't see it as something where men are losing power by relinquishing it being an act that they spark. The one thing that I am curious about, though, is do the nigga get to make the wedding all about him? Do he get to be a fucking dudezilla or groomzilla? That's what they call them niggas, grooms.
Dudes. Do he get to be a dudezilla? I
don't know none of the marriage words, nigga. I don't know none of the marriage
I done been
words.
at too many of them shits, man. Yeah, they
Nigga, you be officiating them shits. Oh, Mr. Tradition.
I officiate 1 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. So how that weigh in on this debate, man? What's your rebuttal for that, man? The washing of the feet.
I'm glad you're giving me the opportunity. You are 100% correct. God, Jesus, the third part of the Trinity of God, the Father, the Son, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, got down as an example.
In this debate, I have to interject. We will not exclude the mother, the Father, the Son, the Holy Mother. I don't know about this ghost shit. Father, the Son, the Holy Mother,
the
man.
Holy Mother. Yeah,
we out here.
True.
Women will not be excluded from the Holy Trinity on Gimme Some Headlines.
They're the most important piece. We stand by that.
Facts. Sorry to interrupt, but it had to be done.
You good money.
In love. You know what I mean?
So the Son got down on a knee to his disciples and washed their feet. And in the scripture that I read, the Holy Bible, the Son is always the example of what you should emulate. And so he showed his disciples what they should do for a God. I'll get down and I'll wash your feet. But he showed him. And you said, you set me up. Thank you. I appreciate you for saying that an act of boldness, a goddess is already bold. They are born bold. The act of boldness is a mere mortal coming to a God and saying, and being bold enough to even ask of a God for them to spend the rest of their goddess existence or their mere mortal life, their God, them and their godliness with a mere mortal. That is bold. That is the boldness. That is the act. It is not bold. It's not bold for a goddess to come to a mortal because they are
Hand your mic
already
back just a
above.
little bit. You distorting, my guy.
Yeah. I know. I'm preaching. Excuse me.
Yeah. You
But
and I want everybody to hear you. That's the only reason I say give your mic a little space. You
but
had
the
your
act of the mere mortal, the act of a mere mortal having the courage to be bold enough to ask of a goddess for their life, for their love, that is where the act comes from. So I believe that a man not being a god, not being able to create asexually, we can't create asexually with each other or asexually.
ew. Yeah, no, not with
We
each
can't
other
create
either.
asexually.
Please don't
They
try.
can. They can give
That ain't none of
life.
my business what you do. But I'm pretty
Sans
sure we
us.
can't.
A goddess can give life sans us. So it is us who should be requesting that and initiating that act and giving them the opportunity to say yeah and nay. So yeah, that's my rebuttal to that.
The last counterpoint I have, niggas is always getting blamed for the goddamn divorce in some way or another. And one of my favorite lines from this show, called the Dan Lebatard Show with Stu Gatz, is I didn't ask for any of this. That nigga Stu Gatz, he'll get the fucking up. And they had him doing a million different things. He'd be like, you know what? I didn't ask for any of this. Like Dan will be on vacation and he'll have to lead the show and he'll be fucking up being the lead chair and then he'll hit him with that. And on the marriage tip, for niggas to have that in their back pocket, I feel like it would be the life version of I still hit. Get out of here with that little ass dick, minute man. Da, 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 da. And when she finished, all the niggas in the background look and they wait for the pregnant pause. I still hit though. Oh, like he didn't do this, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. And guess what? And he cheated. I knew I wasn't ready. That's why I didn't propose. I didn't ask for any of this shit. I agreed because I thought you were ready enough for the both of us. And I never got ready. And I hate to be on some fuck shit as the last counterpoint, but I wrote it down, so there you go. And women, before y'all kill Montavious Dyson, cause that wasn't C.O.D. Decatur Boy music. Remember, I've been on y'all side the whole time, and I done called y'all goddesses like 1,000 times.
Please be gentle.
Nigga standing in court.
Thunderbolt.
Nigga standing in court, she talking about alimony and all this crazy shit, talking about she want $30,000 a day, and that nigga stand up and play the video of her proposing, and then show him sweating, and then show his kicking foot, stomping the ground like a goddamn jackhammer because he about to respond like Freddie, and he don't kick her, and he do like this, and the judge be like, oh hell no, he ain't paying a goddamn dime. He ain't asked for any of this.
I will say that's a fair point, but
you gonna ask my man to get married and 5 years later divorce him because you want a half of his earnings? You gonna try to jug my G? He didn't ask for any of this shit. $500 a month.
Cause she getting some sum. She getting some lump sum of money.
Like, imagine if a nigga had that in their back pocket, cuz. Yeah, I learned that from a meeting with a lawyer recently. Somebody I had a great amount of I guess Disney trust in, and she was like, "Nah, nigga, everybody feel like that." God damn, and that's your lawyer telling you, get that paperwork.
That was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking. You ready for some of them things, man? Go ahead and ask for them.
Oh, so you ain't got no rebuttal for that? Give me some headlines.
Yay. Here we go, man.
And P said that's a good ass point. I concur.
From apes to birds, there are 65 animal species that laugh. Hold on. I don't know. There we go. So from apes to birds, there are 65 species that laugh. Forget herd immunity. Winter. Oh man, forget herd immunity. Winter COVID surges will bring lockdowns, travel bans, crammed ICUs. And I don't know why my computer acting like this today, but it is. I'm about to kick it in the dick for real, for real. So the first one was, there are 65 species, from apes to birds, there are 65 animal species that laugh. Second headline, forget herd immunity. Winter COVID surges will bring lockdowns, travel bans, crammed ICUs. And then, endless scrolling through social media can literally make you sick.
Okay. I'm about to say, okay. You said endless scrolling through social media can make you sick?
Can literally make you sick.
I'm sick of y'all, nigga. Anytime that. I'm gonna need you to send me that one about the animals that can laugh. But for the purpose of giving me some headlines and having a conversation about something.
You can pull the old skip. You can skip to Malou though. You can skip to Malou.
Okay. Who did they get a starring picture? Who get the picture in that article? What animals is in the picture?
So I'm gonna give you all the headlines again. Forget herd immunity. Winter COVID surges will bring lockdowns, travel bans, crammed ICUs. From apes to birds, there are 65 animal species that laugh.
Let me hear that second one.
The second one? From apes to birds, there are 65 species that laugh.
That's the first one.
Scrolling through.
I'm saying, give me the second headline. That's the one I'm choosing, the travel ban joint.
Okay, forget herd immunity. Winter COVID surges will bring lockdowns, travel bans, crammed ICUs.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
Okay, that one, we are bringing you that story from Newsweek.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as India descended into a COVID-19 tragedy that dwarfed anything the country had experienced in the pandemic so far, with hospitals inundated, oxygen supplies short, and vaccines reportedly being stolen from warehouses, American politicians thousands of miles away were clamoring to end pandemic restrictions. Representative Jim Jordan, railed at Dr. Anthony Fauci in the House of Chambers. You don't think Americans' liberties have been threatened in the last year, Dr. Fauci? They've been assaulted. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey told Fox News, "We have been at this for more than a year now, and we have simply got to move forward. Endless government mandates are not the answer. Many Americans are eager to invite friends for a barbecue, belly up to a crowded bar, attend concerts, and eat dinner in popular restaurants. Texas and Florida opened beaches and bars in early May. The mayor of New York City,
Yay,
a
yay.
year after its catastrophic outbreak, announced a lifting of restrictions on businesses will begin on July 1st only, to be one-upped by the governors of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, who moved the date up to May 19th. As vaccinations reduce the virus's ability to spread, new cases are now expected to begin dropping exponentially. The summer of love is at hand, but the pandemic is not over. In the U.S., the nation is still divided in its willingness to accept vaccines or heed precautions against infection. Vaccination rates have peaked, and herd immunity now seems unlikely before next winter, almost guaranteeing that pockets of people will remain vulnerable to the coronavirus in the fall. As the cold winter closes in, so will millions of people around the world who are still vulnerable to infection and have little prospect of getting shots anytime soon. The coronavirus will continue to circulate widely for months, giving it plenty of opportunities to mutate into troublesome new forms that chip away at the effectiveness of vaccines. The prospect that dangerous new variants will trigger fresh outbreaks with the accompanying lockdowns, travel restrictions, and calls for social distancing and mask wearing is a dark cloud over hopes of a return to a pre-pandemic normal in 2021 and 2022.
Precedent, 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 precedent. That was my biggest issue with all that shit last year, is how willingly they let them do all that shit because the precedent is set for them to do it again. Like, people forget, like, people wanted that prohibition shit. They had convinced them that alcohol gave niggas demons and shit. Like, same shit they did with weed. But like, bruh, this shit kind of stressful, bruh.
It ain't even kind of stressful. This is mad stressful, G.
Like, for everybody to have been so depressed and to hate people pre-pandemic, niggas sure do act like they scared to die just living. You know what I'm saying? I hate to even say it like that. Nigga act like, don't even put me on no conspiracy theories, so I think it's not real or this, that, and the third. I just don't give a fuck. Do you know how much of my life I've lived with my environment, my situation, and the things I had to deal with supposedly have been set up to create an environment, a situation to where I shouldn't still be alive? Do you know how many times my hands have been burned from a pistol and I not had one bullet wound? Like, I ain't built to run around living life afraid of dying. And to structure this shit as if that is negated by, well, then you're killing people by not, oh my God, damn, they covering all they goddamn bases. They convincing everybody who has a strong belief in the vaccine that all the people who don't get it, oh, it's gonna mutate in them and then it's gonna get y'all. It's gonna mutate in us and we gonna survive it and kill people who got vaccinated for the shit? That's what you telling me? The vaccine doesn't prepare you for the mutated version, but we gonna survive it, carry it, and kill y'all with it. God damn, bruh. I am not saying I'm anti-vaccine. I'm just a person who has not gotten it yet. And I will not speak as to whether or not it's something I ever plan to do. I will not make it known that I have gotten it if I ever do. But my point is very simple. Like the umbrella paradox that I mentioned to you is relevant forever. If I buy an umbrella and go out into a rainstorm, my umbrella is going to keep me dry.
Right.
If I went into Marshall's to grab me a little cheap umbrella because it was storming and I ain't have one, and when I took it to the register, she told me this umbrella ain't gonna work unless everybody in the parking lot have this umbrella or one of these other two umbrellas made by these two companies. If everybody or 85% of people don't have this umbrella, you still gonna get wet as fuck. I'm like, I'm not buying this shit. So if the vaccine is less effective than a fucking umbrella from what it protects you from, why the fuck would you put something that is built to trick your DNA into creating oh my God. Like, bruh, why in the fuck would you take anything that was less effective than an umbrella when it came to protecting you? Imagine if a bulletproof vest didn't work unless every nigga on the planet had one on. Would you buy that bulletproof vest? That should be useless, right? What gunfight would you go to happy? You got to be headshot McGee because everybody else over there, I hope they got their bulletproof vests on, or when they shoot me, my shit ain't gonna work. Like, I can't think of, like, nigga, imagine if your airbags didn't work if everybody on the road didn't have airbags. Imagine how fucking shook you would be driving on the highway when you see an old school. That's how y'all feel when you see a nigga who don't have a mask on or a nigga who ain't vaccinated. Why would you get it if you had less belief?
Ain't deploying.
Like, soon as you see that motherfucker, your airbag light on the driver's side go out like the passenger when it don't have somebody sitting in it. You just go, ooh, shit, you get in the slow lane. You switch.
You're on the Autobahn doing 43.
Like, and I was under the impression that apparently people got the coronavirus magically from somewhere and then gave it to each other. Why the fuck would the wintertime lead to a spike in coronavirus cases?
Apparently, like, coronavirus get hot, so it can't, like, it in like 80-degree heat or some shit like that. Like, it's not.
Why isn't it always surging on some part of the planet? Because the hemispheres operate in different fucking seasons. Why wasn't the sun? Why isn't the southern hemisphere getting lit the fuck up right now? Where Brazil at? Where South Africa? I don't hear nothing coming out there about a fucking wave hitting them. So why the fuck one gonna hit the northern hemisphere? Come on, Brazil! I need to hear something. Like, so, like,
yeah, that's some money finna change hands. I don't like, it's for me. Like, I'm not an anti-vaxxer personally. I am not
I ain't anti-vaxxer neither.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just, this is speaking
I've
from
gotten
a
a
personal
bunch of
standpoint.
vaccinations in my lifetime. Bunch of them shits. For travel situations, going through school situations and all that. But for people to say, you got all them other vaccinations, why you don't trust this one? Research the shit. You think I had the choice to get the one I got before I went to kindergarten? You think if I knew saying I don't want a vaccine and I never had to go to school, I wouldn't have did that at 5? Hell, you talking about? My house was fun as shit. My grandma was in that bitch. She was smart as shit. Yeah, said we watched them stories. We watched Matlock and all that shit. It was 3 years before I learned something at school. Said all that to say.
Go ahead. Nah, man, I was
said all that to say I ain't got nothing against vaccines, and I've got countless vaccines in my lifetime. But as far as this one, wanting to wait and see as opposed to be first in line as a black man who only is knowledgeable about the heinous history of America they have allowed us to know about. To not know your history is to be doomed to repeat it. And I heard somebody else say this. It might have been Charlemagne the God that articulated it in this way. For them to be working as hard as they are to try and make sure the African American community go get vaccinated with all of the different things that have plagued this community, especially in the past couple of years, like let's say being shot dead and nothing happening to the person who shot us dead. Shit like that. Just how they was wearing a blue uniform. And for a few things to pop up and legislation to pop up to protect our brothers and sisters in the Asian community and us to have had a conversation about that, I think about how dedicated they are to protecting us and how much they truly care about us and how hard they really work to look out for us as a community. And I say, if we look at their actions in the past 5 years, and we look at the systematic from an infrastructure standpoint through both administrations, this one just brand new. But if we look at the actions of America, why the fuck would the black community believe they're doing something positive for us by making sure that we get vaccinated? What have they done in the past 5 years for us? So to allocate a buttload of fucking resources to making sure you get vaccinated, if you assume that's something positive, cool. I don't ever ask for a human being on the planet to live their life the way I live mine. And that's why certain communities bother me, because they carry themselves in a holier than thou mentality, and you should be living your life like I live mine. And I thought this America shit was about everybody being able to live their life how they want to. That's why they embed all of this coded language to where if I live my life the way I want to, I am a danger to you. Simply by not doing what you do. Trusting like you trust. Wanting to be first in line so that I can get back to normal. When they make it the barrier to getting back to normal, you are not taking the vaccine because you trust the science, because you ain't went and looked at it. Because it has not been FDA approved. It has been cleared for emergency use by the CDC, and that shit totally different, yo. It has not gone, like, you can still hear ads on the radio about them having experimental versions of the vaccine for teenagers, and they're asking people in Atlanta to have their children join this fucking research fucking trial, and they offering money for it. And when you hear the amount of money they offering to risk your child life to be a part of these trials so they can start giving the vaccines to younger people, it's obvious they targeting poor people, because ain't one motherfucker who has a mortgage would take that money to risk their child life. So some of y'all just trusting this shit, man. Understand that is 13% of the country, and I think we down to 11%. If everybody else go get vaccinated, they'll be past their 85% rate. So why the fuck are they so focused on 11% getting vaccinated to hit safety? That's some bullshit, bro. And I refuse to just swallow whatever information I received. And I'm sorry. I know you tried to cut me off because you saw me going off the deep end, but we fucking here, bro.
No, it wasn't even that. I wasn't even trying to cut you off from going off the deep end. I was going to cut you off to talk about education, which ain't even on the docket today, but it is on the docket. We talking about being educated and
respond to that real quick though. When I say some crazy as shit, you slide and skate and just run from it. Respond to that, bruh. Am I ridiculous to think that it is ridiculous to trust whatever they say? I'm not saying I disbelieve everything, but to trust it blindly?
Yeah. I'll tell you what made me take a step back. I saw a commercial last night. We was in Louisiana. We came back late, and like I can't go to sleep without watching like something. So like I cut on like I think it might have been ESPN or some shit to like catch up with the games and like just to see how they all shaped out, like some critical points and maybe some things that I missed. Oh, it was the Utah Memphis game, and I saw a commercial with Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton all pushing the vaccine, and they were all like getting a shot. And I was like, fuck, I'm doomed. Bro, they had like why they got these niggas like what y'all got presidents like hopping on the fucking tube to trust this vaccine. And like I looked at the numbers, bro. I think we as black people in like the 80th percentile or some shit like we 80% of black people taking this fucking vaccine. 70 something percent of Hispanic people are. I think the AAPI community is around like 70 some percent. You know who not taking this motherfucker?
White people.
They in like I can't go look it up, but I think they are somewhere around. It was either 42 or 62% of them. I think it might have been 62%. It's like, all right, we'll take it. But and these are people who are pushing it. It's largely groups of white people who are pushing this, and we are in this country not by we didn't sail to this motherfucker on our own volition, like on some globetrotter shit. We was happy in Africa, which all of this shit was Africa at one point, but this neither here nor there at this point.
We was already happy here. We wasn't in Africa.
We was already happy. We was here. We was here and happy. We was here and happy, living our lives. And then some things started happening around us. We like, what the fuck they doing all that for? Who is these motherfuckers?
I mean, it documented that you brought disease with you. It brought
disease. Why are we sick?
Y'all brought disease with you, and y'all gonna tell us we gotta get this shit. I don't know.
We was fine.
I don't trust it, bro.
Hey, you ain't a dummy for not.
But understand that I keep referencing umbrellas and bulletproof vests for a reason. If at any point this shit is scientifically proven to be that fucking bulletproof, get what? Get who getting inoculated? This guy. First in line. Once is that point. And not a fucking moment before. And I'd be damned if you require me to get some shit that ain't been FDA approved in my motherfucking country when they exist to prevent y'all from being able to do shit like that. Mm-mm.
Not to cut you off, man. Oh, go ahead. Make your point.
If I want to, I could be from Zimbabwe. So I ain't worried about them stupid ass vaccination cards neither, nigga. One monkey don't stop no show. Cut me off.
I read a book recently, man, that changed my life, bro.
He said I ain't gonna respond to that.
I feel like it was self-explanatory.
I lead this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. Y'all can keep it. It'll be y'all loss. And that's on being the prize.
So,
I did that one on purpose. I saw you finish smacking. Eat another chip, cuz. I'm done though.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I read The Alchemist, man. And yeah, like we said, as we introduce things to you, we introduce different segments of this show. We're gonna over explain them. And so this one is called Between the Lines. This is where it's either a book review, it's gonna review song lyrics that really jump out to us, poetry, like we both very interested in the I was gonna say English, but we are interested in linguistics as a whole, and world languages and communication between human beings, animals, uh, sentient beings, what have you. Um, and I recently read something that jumped out to me, and so I wanted to explore that. What I read in an installment of Between the Lines or Give Me Some Pages is what we'll be calling it. GSP. You wanted to say something?
I do not. I'm listening, bro.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So a book that came in, it's been in my consciousness now for probably a few years. And I've wanted to get around to doing it. Like I've wanted to do a whole lot of things and hadn't done it. Um, but I discovered that somebody on YouTube uh read the audiobook. And so I got I'm waiting on my physical copy, but I did get the audiobook version of it. And The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, a Spanish writer. So the backdrop of the book is this young man named Santiago, he lives in the period of Moorish Spain, um, and he starts having these recurring dreams of some treasure that he's supposed to go out and search for. It's at the foothills of the pyramids in Egypt, which is not far from me. Back then, I guess it was kind of far because we didn't have the modes of transportation that we have today. But Santiago is having this recurring dream, so he starts seeking people to help him to kind of make sense of this dream and give him some guidance on what he should do and how he should set out and go achieve this goal, or to see if it's even something that's his dreams are actually real. And he runs into several people on his journey. I won't give all of them away or give away the entire plot of the book. But the book is sold, I think, over 80 million copies. I think it was written in the 80s. And it's just a really good story it's a non-fiction book, but there's a lot of really good gems and lessons throughout that instill being courageous and even in the midst of fear, or opposition, or um, making mistakes, or physical pain, spiritual pain, emotional pain, pushing through and seeing your dreams, seeing them through until the end. Um, and very, very inspirational story. And I wanted to just talk about some of the principles that I ran into while reading it. Um, and one recurring theme in that book is the language of the world, which is an unspoken language. It's being in tune with yourself and being in tune with your surroundings and with the people, your environment. And only the folks who really have this selflessness, and want to and have a giving heart, they are able to speak this language. Um, Another recurring theme in there is dreams of consciousness and subconsciousness, um, dream interpretation, and following or acting on the ideas or visions that you see in your mind. You have them for a reason. And I know, I think I may have mentioned this to you before about your ideas being your babies. And once you have an idea in your mind, you're pregnant, and it's your job to give birth to that baby, and nurture it, and help it to grow. So dreams is another recurring theme. Love and relationships. Um, One of the major points in this book, he meets a young lady, and they they fall almost immediately in love. And what happens to him is he thinks, I found my treasure. Like, this woman is the treasure, and he meets somebody else who lets him know that, and she tells him, I'm not the treasure. Like, you set out for something that's not here. It's You still have a ways to go. And she encouraged him, and that she encouraged him to keep chasing what he saw in his vision, that treasure that uh was at the foothills of the pyramids in Egypt. And so I saw some parallels in that lesson to my own life, and thinking you found the treasure that you're supposed to, but that person that like, nah, like, this isn't. I'm a part of the journey now. I'm not the treasure that you were seeking. I'm just a part of the journey. You still have that vision, that dream that you were seeking out. Continue to push forward towards that shit because you haven't made it there yet. And some people around him that were giving him advice told him, like, no, like, that's not your treasure either. Like, and if you would be doing your relationship or your love a disservice if you stopped and you didn't see your dream through. So the lesson that I saw in that was, don't allow your relationships aren't they are part of your treasure, but they aren't the treasure. Like, you still have your vision, your dreams. A lot of people use their children as reasons to stop chasing whatever it was they were chasing before they had children. Don't do that shit. If at all possible, um, continue to push forward, and seek out those things that you did before you had those children, or before you were in that relationship or whatever. Like, you don't have to. If it's the right relationship, those people are going to encourage you to continue to chase those dreams. There's an emphasis in this book on wisdom, and and discernment, and being able to decipher who's giving you good information and who's giving you bad information. But the thing about it is, there is no bad information. He is going after his dream at one point, and he comes to a place, and he's in a completely foreign place, doesn't speak the language, doesn't know anybody there. He's completely off on his own. He loses everything he has, and it stops him for almost a whole calendar year. But in that calendar year, he learns the language of the people. He learns new skills. He builds a whole wealth of experience in that year that he isn't moving, or he doesn't think he's moving toward his dream. So um another thing is your energy. Energy is very important in this book, and how when you encounter certain things, what it gives to you, or what propels you to move forward, what stops you, what is an obstacle. It's how you perceive it and what energy you take towards overcoming whatever gets in your way. And then persistence. Don't stop, man. Like, shit's gonna get in your fucking way, but don't stop. Like, it's meant to be getting your way for a reason. It's meant to test you to see if you really are who you think you are, and you really want that shit that's on the other side of it. So yeah, I will put a link to the YouTube video in the show notes for everybody. If you want to go, I found that my learning style, the best thing for me to do is to hear something and also be reading it. So I'm getting physical copies of books while also purchasing audio copies of books, and it has helped me tremendously to retain information. So I will make sure that I put ways for you to get to this text, and yeah, and put it into your consciousness, and I'd be more than willing to read it again and discuss it, because like, the more research I've done about it, people have read it multiple times and they've gotten something new from it every time. And there are a lot of really good pieces of wisdom in here for it to be a nonfiction book. I'm sorry, a fiction book, and a story. Um, but you can tell that Paulo lived a very full life, and full of experience, full of knowledge, and full of relationships that were very giving to him. And he took a lot of good lessons from it, and he enclosed them within the confines of these pages. So that is our between the lines. Give me some pages, man. Any
Oh
thoughts?
wow. He ain't let me say shit about it. He said
No,
done and done. I guess we done, man. What
no, no.
next?
I was open enough. I was opening the flow. The
Yeah,
doors of the church is open.
that nigga think we ignorant just how we live down here. Just how I smoke weed. I can't comment on books. Okay, let go, cuz. Let's move on now. I'm gonna make you eat that one. Let go. Books,
Oh,
ew. Yuck. Whatever that nigga said. Y'all jump in his mentions. I forgot his Twitter handle, but we at Twitter at give me some head underscore s. Give me some headlines. Bars.
big ones.
And if y'all want to start the conversation, feel free to hit us up at give me some questions at gmail.com. And that is gimme, GIMME, SOME, questions at gmail.com. Y'all nigga know how to spell questions. And I hope y'all don't mind all them eating the chips in the microphone. We really just trying to bless y'all with it's a little bit of ASMR.
Yeah, big fans of the ASMR world, man. Big fans. Yeah, bro.
Now I just been a dick. Go ahead. I couldn't even get the smack. That ain't work. Go ahead.
My dog, he put something into my consciousness about 2 days before the actual event started to occur. And I had also been telling myself this was something that I wanted to do for like maybe like a decade now. Since I started doing very challenging Lents, I've always wanted to do, well, not always, but I've wanted to do Ramadan or participate in Ramadan. To And I'm not Muslim. I do consider myself a Christian. I do identify as a Christian. But there are there are things that I believe in other religions that we don't do as Christians as much. Like we don't like for Christianity, like for you to be redeemed Christian or people who consider themselves redeemed or worthy of our afterlife in heaven, all you have to do is believe. And in most other religions, like Islam, Judaism, it's a lot of work. Like you have to actively do things. You can't just say, "Oh man, yeah, I believe in Jesus," and like poof, you in heaven. It don't work that way in other religions as I see it. So Ramadan recently passed, which is Ramadan is the and I hold up, I'm gonna get the facts right. Uh Ramadan is considered one of the holiest months of the year for Muslims. In Ramadan, Muslims commemorate the revelation of the Quran, and fast from food and drink during the sunlight hours as a means of drawing closer to God and cultivating self-control, gratitude, and compassion for those less fortunate. Ramadan is the month of is a month of intense spiritual rejuvenation with a heightened focus on devotion during which Muslims spend, extra time reading the Quran and performing special prayers. Those unable to fast, such as pregnant or nursing women, the sick, or elderly people and children, are exempt from fasting. And it takes place during the ninth month of the Muslim calendar year. And so it was 30 days of fasting from dawn or pre-dawn to the sun going down, sunset. And obviously it's during a time of the year where the days are getting longer. So you start
It's
off
what
at
they call a sunrise fast. You don't eat while the
sunrise.
sun is out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And so this is the first time I started doing Lent in 2012. Was the first year I did Lent.
What that is?
So Lent is I think it's Catholicism is a denomination of Christianity that does Lent. So you for 40 days.
Everybody kind of.
Yeah. Everybody kind of jump on that wagon.
They the trickle down. If Catholicism do it, if any other denomination of Christianity do it, it's like a square rectangle situation.
Yeah.
It's like a 90-degree angle thing. If Catholicism do it, it's Christianity. So Lutherans can do it, Baptists can do it, but it don't work for everything but a lot of sacraments. And go ahead, P.
Yeah.
Y'all get it. You get it.
So I think it's for 44 days. 44 days, I think. You give up something that means something to you. It's a fast from something that means something to you. And I started doing that in 2012. The one I did in 2015 was the Lent from Hell.
And understand that that's a huge importance of a connection to people understanding what we talk about when we talk here at Gimme Some Headlines about fasting. Fasting is deprivation from something you consume on a regular basis. And when you think about your diet and having a healthy diet, you also need to have this perspective outside of things you just put into your mouth, things you take into your ears, people you surround yourself with, things you watch on television. You can only consume junk food with the shit you watch on TV, and it will fatten your mind up just like you only eating chips, cakes, and pies will fatten your body up. Be conscious of your diet and be conscious of fasting and the benefits of fasting as he discusses Lent and Ramadan. Yeah. Because it extends beyond just things we consume and eat. But we'll talk a lot about fasting here. Give me some headlines. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, I did Ramadan, man, and it was honestly, it was a very I thought it would be limiting, but it was a very liberating experience, and you realize like the strength of the human body because I'm so used to eating like whenever I feel like it. Like I'm so used to that shit. And I realized like I lost a little bit of weight and all of that, but and my goal when I started it was like I did it because I felt like my relationship was with God wasn't where it needed to be. And fasting is a very personal thing. And my dog got me another piece of text centered around fasting, and it's not just food based, it's giving up something that means something to you. And it's fasting by uh Jennison Franklin. Um, but and I'm right now I'm in chapter 6 of it. But and it's something that I want to put into my everyday habits and do on a regular basis. But I wanted to pray more. Like where I fell short during the Ramadan was I wanted to pray more, and because I don't think I'm a good prayer. I do work to pray at least twice a day. When I get up before I go to bed at night, my thing that I want to do is I want to do it at least 3 times a day, and I want to spend at least 15 minutes in that 3 times a day in prayer, in meditation. And so, um, like some days I did better than others, and I'm looking forward to like not just like the next Ramadan, but looking forward to making fasting a practice because I felt like once you get past like your stomach rumbling and you realize like, man, I'm hungry, but you continuing to push through that because this is like my lady is not going through this, so she opening the fridge. Like it was one day we went to a crawfish boil, and it was like the first one of the season. Like the dude who I went to his birthday party last year, he made crawfish, the son of the best crawfish I ever had. And I'm sitting out there like a loon, man. Like, man, my friend not eating. They throw all the crawfish on the table. He got
Corn
artichoke
on a
hearts out
cob.
there. He got corn. He got the red potatoes. Like all that shit. It smells spicy. It looked good. He had a ice cream cake. It was 3-layered ice cream cake with like graham cracker. I think it was like snickerdoodle ice cream or some shit like that.
I
That
like
shit
snickerdoodle.
looked fantastic. People out there drinking and shit, getting litty. I'm out there in 92-degree heat, not eating, not drinking. And I felt strong in a bitch, man. I was like, I should feel crazy as fuck
Stood there
out here, man.
bowling,
And I'm
sweating
sitting
in the
there just,
sun.
man,
Felt like
hurting.
1,000,000. Felt like number one. The height of summer. I never felt that strong. Like a rock. That nigga said he was out there sweat. Boy. Shouts out to Ball Seeger. That's one of my favorite songs.
And so, yeah, my
Can I make an inquisition?
it made me, yeah. What do you think?
How important did breaking your fast and thinking of breakfast as breaking fast and something that I need to do as soon as I wake up what role did that then play in your life now? How does breaking your fast come into play? And how did you choose what you broke your fast with?
Good question.
Thank you.
I towards the beginning, I broke my fast with the first thing was water because
Mm.
it's a food and drink fast, and then it's if you are married. Well, I treated it like I was married, so it was no sex during something like that. I was either, and so
Ain't
when I
no
broke my
afternoon delight, cuz. What
yeah,
no?
and so it was the fasting was like the first thing I did when I broke the fast was I drank like 3 or 4 cups of water. Um,
I didn't ever
and
know that
then
component. So now in my mind, Muslims around the world just clapping cheeks as soon as sunset, all Ramadan. Like, yeah. Fuck all that food. Before you put that on your stomach and say your stomach hurt, come on in here for a second, real quick. You go ahead, cook it. Leave that on the oven. Leave that on the hot. You know what I'm saying? Put that on about 2, 3, you know what I'm saying? Put them chickens in the air fryer. Bring that ass here. Hey,
yeah, um, and that was yeah, but like I got to a point where I was only breaking my fast at night. Like the last, I think 2 weeks, I don't think I ate breakfast. The last like 2.5 weeks, I didn't eat breakfast. Um, and what I usually break my fast with, I ain't even gonna front. It was I made sure that before I ate anything, I prayed. And it was usually just a being grateful. It was just a thank you. Um, and I would like if I sometimes I was just starving and I would the first most usually it was we get these dark chocolate covered almonds and I would break my
okay.
fast with them joints.
Okay. I thought she was about to say something else. That's okay. I clear that. Yeah. As if it mattered.
And then it would be
I thought
like
you were about to say cake.
nah, yeah, I
I
didn't
had me a big old slice of cake. Okay, yeah, that's great to break your fast with that. That what I would get ready to say, but I should have known with you. You stay with them chocolate covered almonds.
yeah. Um or some pistachios.
Pistachio.
Those
Damn, I wish I'd have beat you to it. I was thinking it,
yeah.
and I was like, pistachios, pistachios.
Yeah.
It looked like a clam, but it's a nut in there.
Yeah. And
Pause,
that's what I usually broke my fast with. And then
bruh. Do you
chips.
understand how funny that is? I say all the time that I be thinking the shit this clever, but I feel like I'm gonna get canceled if I say it. But think about why I would get canceled and who would counsel me for calling them a pistachio because it looked like a clown, but it got a nut in it. That's funny, bruh. It looked like a clown, but it got a nut in it. Pistachios? That's some good slang.
Yeah.
That's too clever. And it hit me as soon as you said that shit. I said, ugh. My mind worked too quickly on too many fronts, man. Dry this shit out of here before I say it out loud.
Yeah, but um I'm proud that I was able to not even endure like because I wanted to get spiritually strong and I use it as a vehicle as well because I'm working on writing this ceremony for a wedding that I'm officiating in a couple weeks. And so I want God to speak through me. And so, and that's not just with that ceremony. That's like through everything that I do, like even in our artistry, and like even with this show, like I use it as a vehicle for God to speak through me. Um, and to say things that he would have me to say, or say things that need to be said, or for me to have for me to step over my barrier or of keeping myself silent so I don't piss anybody off to say things that people wouldn't expect me to say, because I usually I'm a people pleaser and try to make everybody happy and don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable in my midst, but that ain't how I want to live my life. Like I really want to live my life not giving a fuck what anybody else got to say about what I got to say. Um and so, and even in that, like, I think God is using me to speak and to grow in myself and to evolve. And so I believe that this first Ramadan that I was able to participate in and be a part of, was a part of that growing process and that evolution that, um, I hope to have as a person, as a son of God, as an artist, as a lover, as a son, as a business partner. And so, yeah, I did a whole lot of growing, I feel like, and I look forward to the continued process, because it's not just that one. Um, it's a it's having that consistency. Like, it's 30 days of building that habit of fasting. So like now I know I'm capable of doing it, and I look forward to seeing what else I can challenge myself to do, to grow in that relationship and to be a vessel,
They
for
don't
the
eat
Lord
beef, do
above,
they?
man.
I'm
They
sorry.
don't eat pork. They don't eat pork.
They eat beef though?
I think so. Yeah. The folks who do not eat beef are, I think, people who are Hindi. Cows are sacred in their religion.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
But yeah, Muslims don't eat pork,
Christians don't supposed to.
which is like I
I
said,
thought you was
Christians.
gonna pull up one of them excerpts from that joint from the fasting books
I got one,
about
man. Yeah.
how fasting gets you closer to the Lord, because it would reference the significance of why Ramadan comes into
Yeah.
play, why it's in the time of year that it is. And it also would have a good significance for people to understand why you choose something that is actually of value to you, because the fast is your literal cosmic currency. Because even if you're not religious, fasting has a flat out real scientifically proven positive effect on your biochemistry. Period. Every 21 to 23 days, you create a whole new you. Fuck around and get you a good ass fast in one of them spans of time. It don't even have to be a whole month. Fast for a period of time that you are reproducing a whole new you. The reason you do a month, because you're not sure when that cycle begins. But that's why some of the cycles is 44 days and different shit like this as you start educating yourself on different fasts. But it don't have to be food if you're the type of person who can't go without food. But food is a damn good place to start. And you don't have to fast from all food. You can choose something to give up. The month of May for me every year is No Meat May. And I'm currently fasting from meat. And I fast from different things I consume on a regular basis throughout the year. And I just so happened to also put alcohol with No Meat May, because we finna go hard for barbecue season in June, July, and August, because we didn't get none last year. Hey, we showing out for Juneteenth. Speaking into existence. You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anytime about. And I'm actually thinking about, and I ain't even told you about this, but I'm thinking about holding my no flesh, no meat fast. And I haven't even been eating egg yolks, only egg whites. Like nothing that turned into some shit that walk talk and live and die.
Oh, laugh.
Curveball. But I'm thinking about waiting to break my fast until the fishing trip, and I'll break the fast with something I pull out of the goddamn ocean. I feel like that's some gangster shit. You think it's safe to eat shit out of the bay? How that oil spill doing?
My mama done be eating that shit all the time, so and I eat it when I go home. So, yeah.
Okay.
They better eat them red ass weenies we was eating.
Hell nah, them hot links.
Hot red weenies. Yeah, them hot links.
I never ate them bitches. My mama hated that shit. One thing about me, if I don't like the way some shit tastes, I not eat that shit. To this day, I will not eat red beans and rice. No matter how hungry I am.
Wow. I never knew that.
That's how black folk do me. You ain't never seen me eat that shit. Don't have me.
I ain't never seen you eat it.
Bruh, I came to Fat Hope one time, ladies and gentlemen, and for 6 straight days, for every meal, all we ate was chili. We went to a ceremony where they retired these niggas' jerseys from his undefeated basketball team. Whole town come out. They jamming. And you know what we had to eat at the banquet? Chili. I said, God damn, y'all niggas love some chili. The one thing I will say, I didn't have one batch of chili that was the same as any other batch of chili. And every motherfucker who said, oh, watch out now, they was right. That shit was hot as fuck.
We did eat a lot of chili. We don't usually eat that much chili, bro. Like that was out of some. My mama just happened to make that big ass pot. She was like, I want to cook for these niggas. I want to cook for these niggas, but I wanted to be able to eat the entire time they're here. So I'm just gonna make this big ass pot of chili. She had no clue we was gonna run into all that damn chili.
Bro, that shit was so funny. And they ain't fed me chili now time since I've been back a billion times. They fed me chili since because they trying to prove a point. Bro, y'all can make a batch of chili. It was good, cuz it's okay. Like, bro, it was, and bro, the only niggas that wasn't excited to see chili was me and Fred. Niggas was dressed up in suits and everything, cuz. Dresses, women decked out, looking good. Like, yeah, I still got it. Chili.
Chili and garden salad.
And that shit was banging, bro. What I tell you, y'all don't know that about me. But 2 things about me, because I said one thing about me is I got IBS. Confession time. And not to cut you off, but I ain't gonna over explain that, but for those who don't know, imagine how your puppy react when some loud shit happen while they sleep. That's how your stomach could react to absolutely anything you eat. I didn't expect that to rhyme, but I'm happy it did, because people gonna remember that shit. The way your puppy would respond when some loud shit happened while it sleep is how a nigga with IBS stomach react, potentially, with absolutely anything they eat. And we had chili for every meal for like 6 days.
Yeah.
Oh man, I said if they got the hospitality to not complain, I'll survive. Boy, we did some recording. We did like a whole mixtape in like 2 days because we was there for like 6. We was there for like 6 days, and like this nigga looked at me like, "You brought that computer?" I was like, "Yeah, I brought that guy." He said, "You got some beats?" I said, "Nigga, I can make some beats." And then we just made a mixtape.
Oh, that mixtape.
That weekend after being there and not recording the doing shit, we kicked it with the homie we went. He was like, "Yeah, man, this my old boys and girl club." It was so rough. They had to tear my hood down.
They had to tear my hood down. They tore my project down. It was so bad. That nigga took us to the spot where he thought the project. I was like, you ain't been over here in a while because you brought us over here thinking these projects were still here. So you ain't been in the hood. You ain't been back to the hood in a minute, nigga. I don't want to hear none of that shit, but it was so bad over here. They had to tear it down. Like, nigga, you found that out today with us. You ain't been back over here.
I just, bruh, and you know, I always put stuff in context and stuff I can understand. It'd be the equivalent of a nigga trying to show you how rough he grew up and coming to Atlanta and taking you to Bowen Homes. It'd be like, God damn, who house this is over here to the left? This still Holyfield crib? And then you see a fat ass nigga with a beard pull up in a Maybach. He don't need no Rick Ross living over there, and the white folk been told that motherfucker that it wasn't them type of situation. Like nigga tried to come show up Bowen Homes, and when we got there, the switch up was, man, shit was so bad over here, man. They had to tear my hood down. They tore my project down, and he did it in 3 different parts of the city, so we didn't know what to believe. When niggas move, I don't know. Maybe they tore all of them down, and we was fucked up. So I don't know. Do you know? Because I don't know.
Man, that shit was being gentrified, bro. Some developers came in and got their ass up out of there because they wanted to turn that. They got them niggas up out of there like they do everywhere else.
I'm talking about why it was 3 different projects that were tore down.
I don't know.
He said, nigga, they was gentrified. But shit, dog, give me some headlines, man.
Oh, I was gonna give you that excerpt to that book. But,
oh, my bad. Give me that excerpt. Give me that excerpt before we move on.
Yeah. So this is from Fasting by Jenison Franklin.
Yes, sir.
And this is an excerpt from the chapter entitled "Every Assignment Has a Birthplace."
Hold up. Can you tell the people that I'm the friend that got you that book, please? Because you really treated me like a nigga who don't read books.
I did. I said my dog got this shit. I did tell the people you got it for me, man. It got here, man. He Amazon Prime that thing to me. He spoke about it one day. Now when I signed, literally the next day, it's upside down. There you go. Come on, man. I read books. It's upside down. You can't read.
And y'all see that my version paperback, my mom actually gave me my copy and brought this into my consciousness, but on some do unto others as you would have them do unto you, you know what I'm saying? Shirt off my back, food off my plate type of love. I do my thing, right? You know what I'm saying? My mama gave me her book, so she didn't buy me a paperback. No slight to mom, shouts out to mom Duke. But my nigga got the hardback. Give him that excerpt, cuz I just had to get my book so nigga know I be reading too. And I'm the nigga who got the book. I be reading books and getting niggas books that I like. I be reading books.
Gifting books.
Don't let that nigga fool y'all, bro. Don't let him tell him y'all I can't speak on the Alchemist. Don't let him tell y'all I don't read books, kid. Think we ignorant, Jack, how we live down here. High flu Ned Houston nigga. That's what I'm gonna add to your nickname. It's High flu Ned Houston nigga.
I am convinced that we would never walk in the perfect will of God until we seek him through fasting. When you present your body in this manner, you open yourself up to hear from God. You approve and discover his good and perfect will for your life. Paul was fasting when God called him to share the assignment for his life, Acts 9:7-9. Peter was fasting on the rooftop when God gave him a new revelation and called him to take the gospel to the Gentiles, Acts 10. Fasting prepares the way for God to give you fresh revelation, fresh vision, and clear purpose. Fasting is what prepares you for a new anointing. God can't put that kind of wine in old skins. If you want new wine, new miracles, new closeness, new intimacy with him, then it's time to call a fast and shed the old skin for the new.
Yay, yay. Can I explain to you why my no meat May fast came to be?
Yeah.
When God delivered the Israelites after 400 years of oppressive slavery in Egypt, millions of Israelites and a mixed multitude of others were miraculously led through the Red Sea on their way to the Promised Land. God provided for their every need on the journey, even feeding them bread from heaven daily. The manna provided such perfectly balanced diet that there was not one sick or feeble person among them for 40 years, with no doctors, drugstores, or hospitals. It filled their bellies and kept their bodies healthy and strong. However, the mixed multitude who were among them yielded to the intense craving. So children of Israel also wept again and said, "Who will give us meat to eat? We remember the fish which we ate freely in Egypt, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, the garlic. But now our whole being is dried up. There is nothing at all except this manna before our eyes." God heard their murmuring and complaining. As any mom can attest, it is just not a good idea to get the cook mad at you. And the quote I have highlighted, the only reason I read that beginning part is so you understand the quote that led to the fast. Because this is scripture. Verse 18-20. Oh shit. I ain't got my bookmark. I get y'all the book. I'll put it above the episode. Sorry, audio. This a visual and audio medium. Go to the Patreon and support the game. We out here. But the quote is, God said, "The Lord will give you meat and you shall eat. You shall eat not 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, nor 10 days, nor 20 days, but for a whole month, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes loathsome to you, because you have despised the Lord." And then it describes the feast he sent them. And the Lord makes it a habit to speak things into existence, as should you. And what he said came to pass. But specifically, when he decrees and sends them their wish, for it to have been, "You shall eat." Hold up. "The Lord will give you meat and you shall eat." Like, he ain't say he gonna give you cucumbers, melons, onions, garlic, da-da-da. He said he will give you meat and you shall eat. Not 1 day, not 2 days, not 4 nor 5, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes loathsome to you. Part of the perspective it gave me is having meat in your diet every day of the goddamn month is a punishment, not a privilege. And just thinking from that perspective and starting to research different stuff, I had a Muslim brother give me this book called Eat to Live. He actually took it back because it was his only copy, so I got to find one. But he talked to me about the perspective and the lifestyle of only eating 1 meal a day as opposed to 3 a day, and being able to get all of the calories you need and different shit like that. And sent me down the path of learning about intermittent fasting. And it circled back around to this. And then I got in here and I was like, oh, I got that highlighted. You feel what I'm saying? And No Meat May came about because, boy, do I fucking love barbecue season. It's the best time of the year, has been my entire life. And I was like, yo, I rarely drink like I did when I was in college and shit. And my tolerance fucking rock bottom. Every time and I only drink like top shelf shit. Cause I had a nigga in bartending school put this in my consciousness. He's like, life too short to drink well liquor. If you ain't got but $20, don't get $4 or $5 shots. Get one $20 shot. And when I started doing that shit, I never got a hangover again. And when I was young, it was because I didn't have money to get a bunch of liquor. But once I did have the money to go get a bottle of that shit I was getting a shot of, I found that shit clean out of your system better because it's distilled better. Cheap liquor fuck your system up. And so does living without paying the cost to have what you want. So No Meat May, for me, is an appreciation for barbecue season, and that deprivation and separation from it make the appreciation for that fur piece of chicken that been brined in that lemon and soaked in that goddamn Dales and seasoned those so right with some old slap your mama and some other shit and some I ain't gonna tell all y'all my recipe. Some of it I stole from my nigga P. Shouts out to my nigga P, aka Chef Boy R Recipe. Recipe with a RH. Get it right. But fuck, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, that's what led to No Meat Made is creating a whole month of the year that reminded me of the lack of importance of meat in my diet. Because every May I am reminded how diverse of a diet I can have without meat. Every month I am reminded how much better I feel when I don't eat that shit at all. So it reminds me to eat a minimal amount of it when I do eat the shit. Like every May I'm just reminded of because you really don't need it. So I don't treat it like a guilty pleasure when I do consume it, but I definitely treat it like I don't need that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We finna get litty for barbecue season though. We about to take it there. You hear me, nigga? But yeah, though, my skin is fucking ridiculous right now. I feel young as shit. And one thing that I'm reminded of also, and this is the last thing I say about the May fast, and the only reason I reference this for the audience is so you guys understand that getting this book by Jensen Franklin called Fasting, New York Times bestseller. I don't know if it's on anybody shit, it's on the GSH reading list. Hey, you talking about Gimme Some Headlines reading list.
What you talking about? Fuck it, yeah, fuck a open.
We gonna create a cow sticker
list.
and put the sticker on that nigga. The first book on the GSH, motherfucker, Give Me Some Headlines reading list. He probably don't like that I put that MF in there. I'm gonna bleep that for the pastor because this dude is a pastor, but this book is not religious. You need this information. But the significance of me describing that fast so that you understand you can be someone who is not of the Muslim faith and engage in that culture with them and get the benefits from it and relate it back to your life and mold it to something that will benefit you. And similarly, you can build a fast that is tailored to you, something that you read that may be related to scripture, whether you're Christian or not. And then you take that and relate that to yourself. And then you build an appreciation for yourself. But I fast from things constantly, both not eating at all, sunrise fast, like P described with Ramadan. Like I haven't drank anything that wasn't water or tea in an extremely long time. Like that lemonade is breaking of a fast that I don't even remember when it began. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I ain't even had coffee, and you know I love a macchiato, nigga. I'm in a Starbucks every day and I ain't had coffee. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, man, give me some headlines, man.
Hey.
Hopefully I won't overstepping my boundaries by sharing a little.
Nah, man, because I enjoy the conversation, like centered around and stuff, and we both do things for, like you said, we giving each other a test on a book and on this book actually, and it's to see what each one of us finds important. So both get something different out of fasting. We both get something different out of, like, if you giving me the same thing I'm giving you, like we don't really need each other. So you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
you giving your perspective, me giving my perspective, and what we find important to things is it's good to get that, because now I can go back and I can look at things from like where you coming from, and it helps me learn a little bit more about you or what somebody else, like their line of logic looks like, and how they're thinking about it. So no, I really appreciate it. And yeah, I got to pick the topics of the show. I'm not going over direct on what direction that it goes. Um, and it's like the same way, like I appreciate my Muslim brothers and sisters in their community for allowing me to, giving me the space to partake in, like that. That's not my religion, but I do it to become also like more of a person who is of the world community and looking to build relationships with people who do things differently than I do. You know what I mean? So, and so I appreciate them because I talked about it a little bit online and stuff, and like people were very gracious. And um, I spoke to a brother who was Muslim, and he was like, "Oh man, that's dope that you're doing it, man. Here goes some tips on how to not to get through it, but get the most out of it." And so, yeah, I was super thankful, man. And it's a very loving community of people, and um, so yeah, being able to share the different perspectives and the different experiences from folks who are doing something that you are doing, and is yeah, it's enriching for me. So no, I appreciate
The
you.
only thing I worry about is the Nigradamus crowd, who are the contrarian philosophers, who
Yeah,
gonna assume because I was offended by you acting like I don't read books, and then went and grabbed the book and acted like I was reading a book that I can't read. Cause audio, they not gonna see any of that. They just gonna hear me say book, 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 and then hear me talk for a while and say that don't sound like the same book.
right. And yeah,
Nigradamus. Uh, hit me with some headlines, G. Give me
let's
some
get it, man.
headlines. We gotta say
Yes,
that.
sir.
That's the show. I can't slang that. I'm
Hit
nicknamed
me with some
McGee.
hit. Yeah, yeah, you got on my ass about this shit last week, man. What's the name of the show, bro? You gotta say that shit. All
Bruh,
right, hold on. Let
I
me do
had to
it. I'm gonna
hide
do
my
it.
legs with how
I'm
fast
gonna
I was
do it.
shaking them, bruh. I was
All right, man.
I had
First
to get that laugh
headline.
out of my body.
Pfizer produces much stronger protection if doses months apart, says study.
Can you hear me if I speak into the top of that bitch?
I can hear you, but it don't sound like it do if you speak into it like a normal human being.
If I do that bit like on Colin Cowherd, I gotta get one of them shotgun mics.
Yeah,
He sound like he spit all on this shit. That
yeah.
nigga ain't got a pop filter. That nigga ain't got a sock or nothing, bruh. You ever watch that nigga show? I be like, I'm glad Joy sitting
Boy,
on the other
not
side of
really,
the
but I get to
room
see
with
it.
her. I said, I was glad sitting on. Fuck, you fucked me up, bro. I was talking straight. Now I can't. Now I kick push. But I'm like, I'm glad Joy sitting on the other side of the room with her beautiful ass. If she was sitting over there at a table with that nigga collar, she'd been that be wet. You hear me? The décolletage would be dripping, even though it do every day anyway. Hey, you heard me? If everybody who read books is just nigga from the South, they know what them décolletage is, them cat dennings. You hear you talking about them motherfuckers. I feel like if I get too many more, it's gonna be obvious. That second one, a lot of niggas gonna know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Them Bruce Springsteens. Y'all already know what it is. Them Ziggy Stardust. Go ahead, bro. Let go.
All right. So Pfizer produces much stronger protection if doses months apart, says study.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Would you agree that visually it is a difference between breasts, titties, and boobs?
Yeah. 100%.
All right. Go ahead.
It's also a difference in titties spelled with 2 D's instead of 2 T's.
Speak on it. You see, scholar. Gentleman and a scholar. We'll have that conversation on the next show. Give me some headlines. What they do, what they call that is a teaser. That'll be on the first chop session. The difference between breasts, titties, and boobs. It's a difference. Yeah. Some of y'all running around acting like y'all got titties and y'all got breasts. And that's fine, because breasts are fantastic. And titties is great. Boobs, y'all need to know what the difference in what boobs is. And there's a reason they call them boob jobs. And there's a difference between fake titties and you get a boob job and end up with fake titties. I'm giving away the game. Next week, gonna give me some headlines.
Next week. Going back to that first one again. Pfizer produces much stronger protection if doses months apart, says study. And I hate that I keep picking all these fucking pandemic twins.
That's a good ass tease.
Why captures are getting harder. And Seth Rogen recalls first encounter with Beyonce. I was hit so hard by her security guard that I spilled my drink.
Oh, man. I hate to be that guy because I tried to let intelligence guide my last selection, but I just pictured all them scenarios as movies, and I definitely click on, like if I'm scrolling through Netflix and this is Gimme Some Headlines, I'm definitely clicking on that Seth Rogen Beyonce joint because he like a fat Mike Myers, and I'm like, that got to be funny, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Austin Powers 4, cuz I need that shit. Read the headline again for me. That's definitely the one I'm choosing, but let me hear it again and let the people.
Seth Rogen recalls first encounter with Beyonce. I was hit so hard by her security guard that I spilled my drink. I spilled a drink.
He went back for another encounter?
Subtitle. I got what I deserved. I was humiliated and I didn't get to beat Beyonce.
Queen B.
Oh, man.
I always... Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was about to read you like the caption.
Can I hit you with an aside that I hope don't get me canceled?
Everything we say, we hope we don't get us canceled. So go ahead.
I feel like I need to delete a whole bunch of the early part of the episode. We'll have that conversation later. But anyway, and I'm gonna do that edit terrible so they know, like they get to this part, they be like, what the fuck was that? I ain't gonna put no transition on it, bro. Oh man. But yeah, that just threw me for a loop. What the fuck yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to bleep this too and put a song over it. Bro, whenever I hear Queen Bee, I always think of "You Can't Fuck with Queen Bee." I think of Lil' Kim every time. What was the year that Beyonce took Queen Bee from Lil' Kim? Because that was 2003. La Bella Mafia, that motherfucking bit. I love that album. I'm a big Lil' Kim fan. I like female rappers, period. But Lil Chat,
I don't know when that
Lil'
transition
Kim,
happened. I don't know which album it was.
Trina Stay spent heavy. Fuck you talking about Snow the Product, MC Light. I ain't gonna say the one I never listened to. That was almost a trip up. But yeah, I was a big ass fan of Lil' Kim. What was the year that she took Queen Bee?
Was it Lemonade?
I feel like she was being album? Called Queen Bee before that.
Before that? Yeah.
Cause she had that Beehive and everything.
That's right. Beehive been around for a minute. Yeah.
But yeah, you can take
it. What year did Twitter come out? 2009-ish?
I was late to the party, and I got mine in 2009.
And I was late because we was living together, and y'all niggas clowning for not having one. So I came in at like 2010. Y'all niggas was on Twitter, and I was sitting downstairs like, what is this? What is this?
For you young kids, I've been on Twitter since niggas posted "Now Playing" and the song they was listening to. Y'all don't even know nothing about that shit trending. Like, what? I'm listening to that too. Exactly. Then it got abbreviated. And then niggas was like, bro, what the fuck is you doing?
Y'all old. Y'all old.
Y'all don't do that no more? I still do that shit. I'm never letting it go. Put me on Mount Rushmore. I'm old as fuck. I ain't one of the goats. But I've been here for a minute. That nigga said, man, with your significant other not an internet nigga, and she asked you why something funny, you got to explain 7 years of internet to her. I said, boy, that nigga hit the nail on the head because she asked me, what she laughing at? None. And I'd lose my laugh because I thought about trying to explain it, and that's why it wasn't funny no more. And she'd assume it's she roared my laugh. That shit was, yeah. I'm glad it passed tense. Story, cause damn, yeah, I'm definitely cutting that and putting a little clip of a song. I'm cutting the fat off this thing. This thing gonna be 3 hours.
Yeah, it's long. Seth Rogen has opened up about what happened.
That's what she said.
Seth Rogen.
I feel like I got a better one. A woman once said, it was once said by a woman.
Per her.
Yeah. Go ahead. Per her. That's what I heard, even though that ain't what you said.
Oh, nah. Yeah, definitely not. Seth Rogen has opened up about what happened the first time.
You heard all these young niggas doing all this stupid ass. Come make that pussy purr. You heard all this stupid ass shit these young folk been doing? They take that and do that with all the R's.
It's irrelevant to me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Old. Seth Rogen has opened up about what happened the first time he tried to talk to Beyonce, back in 2011. Chatting with E! News Daily Pop, the knocked up actor talked about how he tried to speak to Beyonce at the 2011 Grammy Awards, but instead had a run-in with her security team. Quote, I saw Beyonce at the Grammys with Gwyneth Paltrow, actually, and they were together, he said, adding, quote, I charged over, instinct took over. No luck, though. I was hit so hard by her security guard that I spilled the drink, Rogen said. I got what I deserved. I was humiliated and I didn't get to meet Beyonce, he concluded. Ultimately, Rogen got another chance to meet Beyonce in 2019. 8 years later, he voiced Pumbaa in Disney's 2019 live-action remake, The Lion King, which featured Beyonce playing Nala. Rogen is currently set to appear in the new Hulu series Pam. Oh, that's irrelevant. So he did meet Beyonce 8 years later, when he was the voiceover for a pig. Not even a warhog. Pumbaa was the warhog.
You try to degrade that man like that.
Yeah, I'm a big Seth Rogen fan, like huge Seth Rogen fan. Like, I'm not the president of the fan club, but like, I'm on the email list.
He got to do that in a movie. Play that whole scene out, bro. That shit funny to me. I don't even really have no comment on the story other than that's a fun ass story. And also, it was really fun to watch you get mad as fuck that I wouldn't stop talking as you tried to read the story. You got so fucking mad. Your blood was boiling. Nigga had to scratch that shit off. Nigga chest started itching. He like, God damn. You didn't break a beat read the story. The rhythm was perfect. You were so fucking mad. You were so fucking mad. The time before you act,
But that shit took 6 times me to read. It took me 6 times.
I'm crying. I can't even see. Bruh, the time before you actually got to read it, you tried so hard not to stop. You read 3 sentences of that shit. And you was like, this shit better be good. Bro, you were so fucking bad. Bro, I'm crying, bro. Nigga,
oh. I can't stop laughing.
And he said, I'll be professional. I'll be professional. I'll be professional. I'll be professional. I'm gonna kill this. And the funny part is, you was doing a good job behind it. But because I know you were doing a terrible job behind that shit.
Oh, man.
You could fit you with a knife in this bitch.
Furious, nigga. I was furious. Like, this motherfucker keep talking. This nigga to ask for some headlines.
Ask that nigga a quick question. Ask a quick question. That ain't got shit to do with me.
Oh, man. My nose running. Oh, shit. These real tears be. As they say in New York. Real tears be. Oh man.
My God. Woo.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
I know what. Ain't no more fucking headlines the rest of the show. Oh shit.
What episode this is?
7.
For the rest of episode 7, this is go get your own goddamn headlines.
You can go get if you need some headlines, see yourself out. You son of a bitch. Oh, this is the headlines are self-serve from here on out. I need no more water in this can, bro. I'm just... We smooth and laughing for like 3 minutes straight. I ain't even running.
Bro, my head starting to hurt, bro. I can't start crying.
Oh man.
Oh shit. Boy, it's a thin line between comedy and drama. If I turn that into a laugh, the meeting was gonna be, boy, he was gonna light my ass. So I had to let him know I could tell. And I was gonna do something about it.
Yeah, they gotta get the video of this motherfucker. This gotta go on the Patreon. You gotta pay for this shit.
Oh shit. Oh man. That got
Can
me.
I tell you something good?
Bro, tell me something good, G. I need it, cuz. Tell me something good.
So the I don't even know if he ever really went away, but there's a few artists I have my favorite artists, and it's been a pretty my list has been pretty consistent. I probably add maybe one person every year or so. My most recent, I'll give you some of my most recent artists that I added on to my roster of favorites. Earth Gang got added on probably about 3 years ago. Six Black, I'm just bullshit. Black got added on. Destiny Rogers got added on to that thing. Shmee got added on to that thing. Shmino. Shmino got added 2017, 16, 17. That's when I was at that company that we won't name. And then oh my God, I just drew
we'll call it Bayou and Beaches.
Yeah.
Bayou and Beaches.
And Sid. Yeah, and Sid got added onto that thing, man. And West Side Boogie, I can't forget West Side Boogie.
I was waiting on them. I was about to say you had two that you added to my list through them being added to yours. Boogie, Destiny Rogers, and
Shmino.
Yeah.
Shmino, And so this artist, I don't really ever feel like he fell off. And I thought he was doing what he was doing while he was
Six
away.
Six Lakh. 5. I'm tripping. Six Lakh.
Also, I saw him in his concert. It's crazy. And I want to see Earth Gang and that shit too. Earth Gang is cold.
I ain't even sure who that is.
Earth Gang, they from the A duo. I don't know what part of Atlanta they from. But shit. They run with Black. I'm sorry. Oh shit. JID. I can't forget the homie.
Is it Jid and Goldmouth? Earth Gang is Jid and Goldmouth. They both on J. Cole shit. Cause if it's a duo that involve him, it's probably them two.
Yeah, that's them. That's
you
them.
Bullshit.
Earth Gang. Cause them niggas, all of them was they apparently they went to, I don't know if they went to the same university. I think they all went to Hampton together. Some shit like that. I think they went to Hampton together. But that nigga said, yeah, he was just they kind of, that shit was like the new age Dungeon family.
Earth Gang is an American hip hop duo from Atlanta, Georgia, United States, composed of Atlanta-based rappers Olu, aka Johnny Venus, and Wow Great, aka Dr. Dot, born Ian Parker. They are co-founders of the musical collective Spillage Village with Jid, Hollywood JB, Jordan Bryant, Six Lakh, Black, Mariba, and Benji. So yeah, they lumped in with Jid. Mariba?
Yeah, Mariba she go in.
So you was right, but they just got a bunch of affiliations.
Yeah.
Do your thing, G.
And then so this other artist, yeah, but so I probably added more artists to my everyday listening list or playlist than I thought I did. But one artist I've been wanting to hear from since his debut album. Well, he had some mixtapes before, like he really popped off. The song that got him on was one that was promptly not stolen from him, but it was copped on some other shit. But we won't even get into that. We gonna stick with the tell me something good. My man has reemerged with new music. Shelley, FKA, formerly known as Big Baby D.R.A.M,
It was
back in this
colonized.
bitch. This shit was colonized. His music was his song was colonized. You may know him from Cha Cha. I like to cha cha. That shit went stupid hard. And then Broccoli was a breakout hit as
Broccoli.
well. Yeah. With featuring another
Lil Boat.
Atlanta artist. Yes, sir, Lil Boat, Big Yachty. But drums, his initial album, Big Baby D.R.A.M, was crazy. Like my favorite cut on that thing is um I had to tell myself to go. Like he opened up with, I had to tell myself to go and get it myself. That joint, and then Monticello Avenue, and like he got a lot of really really crazy cuts. He's just a horribly talented dude, and he took a break. And we gonna call this reinvention, re-debut, and the dedication to artistry. I recently read an article. I forget the publication, but I will go back and I'll find it and I'll put it in the show notes. And it talked about how he just took some time away to figure out how he actually wanted to go about doing this shit. Um, and he reinvented himself in a sense, and like has come out with like a newer type of R&B. And he give me, this ain't just because they both got dreads. This ain't just because they both are very talented singers. It's just ain't because they both are essentially rappers turned singers. Maybe I don't know if Drum started off as rapper, but T-Pain, he give me a lot of T-Pain vibes. As far as the
That's a hell of a
incredible
compliment.
ceiling of incredible ceiling for talent, man. Yeah, like T-Pain, I think is the greatest artist of this generation. I'm not
Ooh.
fucking kidding. Yeah. And I will go toe to toe with anybody who argue otherwise. A lot of people say it's Kanye. Nah, that shit T-Pain. He's the most, yeah. But we talking about Shelley, FKA, Big Baby
Mass
D.R.A.M.
debaters for a different episode.
Yeah. Oh, we can talk about that shit.
We could do our own verses.
Yeah.
You
But
ready? I'm gonna get on your ass.
that's fine. But yeah, man, Big Baby D.R.A.M is back with I like the courage to reinvent yourself, man. Like to say, I'm taking a break from all of this shit and I'm going to find out what this really means to me. And I'm going to put out exactly what I want to put out. Like no commercial shit, like having my strings be pulled by a label. I'm going to, what he said was he dedicated himself to the artistry, and everything that you hear on this current album is exactly what he wants you to hear. And it brings my heart so much joy to hear artists say shit like that. To say and like, cause I think his debut album was 5 years ago. 2016 was when Big Baby D.R.A.M dropped. And for him to take that 5 years off, and he said, I think he has like hundreds of songs in the vault, but like I think this is a 14 song project, 12, 14 song project. Uh and he was just working relentlessly, man, and working to develop his sound and develop who he is. And I feel like we've done that. Well, I know I personally have several times over, and nobody's ever really heard any music outside of us and a few other people.
Don't put me on the list. I ain't heard it neither, y'all.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
He a jerk.
But
yeah. I ain't
so
heard none of them Boris kid.
yeah. So it's
I interjected some negativity. Here goes some positivity. How you gonna mention your favorite D.R.A.M songs and not mention Wi-Fi? I feel like you saying that to every motherfucker whose Wi-Fi password you've wanted since you heard it. You know what I mean? That's why I know that song. I don't know if I've ever heard him sing it. Do you have Wi-Fi? I'm like, P.
Do you got some Wi-Fi?
I'm like, P. Gift me that bitch once you get it, bro. Send me that screenshot. And nigga P seen that Wi-Fi, cause people be like, oh, we can only do 10 devices at a time. And then nigga P will look around and be like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you have Wi-Fi?
That song, beautiful. I get on my lady nerves with that shit too. She hate it because I love it so much, and I'm always doing that shit. Like I'll play that song a lot. That and Future's what's the song where he opened up? It's a woman. Call me before you leave. Saying touch your toes when you're cooking breakfast. She hates that shit.
It ain't pie. Is it pie?
Pacific Ocean out the backyard, nigga, sexy. Fresh air.
Damn.
I'd
have got there. Fuck. I'd have got there too.
She hate fresh air. She hate Wi-Fi because I like him so much, and I just make him annoying.
That Super Future playlist, hell, bro.
Yeah,
that's still a good one to work out to.
But tell you something good. You know where that nigga from? You know where D.R.A.M from?
Where he from?
Hampton, Virginia. Same area as
Frederick Douglass?
Allen Iverson. Close.
Oh, okay. Close.
And Michael Vick.
Fuck you, kid. I see what we doing,
Vick, man. They from that like little area of I know it's Hampton, Virginia. I forget the name of Newport. It's not Newport Beach. Is it Newport Beach?
Obviously, I don't know.
Newport, Virginia. That nigga said Frederick Douglass. Now I want to know what inspired you to say Frederick Douglass.
Me too. That nigga was born in Cordova, Maryland. Oh, that's right in that area. Fuck you, cuz.
Yeah, all that shit does say area. I ain't know
DMV, cuz.
I'm sorry.
My bad. No clue. My bad. I did say that aggressive. But nigga, that ain't close to Maryland. Nigga, that shit, if it was in miles, that shit could fit in Georgia. So you feel what I'm saying?
I always just assume Maryland.
It's a shorter trip from where he from to where you talking about than it is from Atlanta to Savannah. Damn, that how you know I'm country Atlanta to Savannah. That's some hella some shit that good though, cuz.
Yeah, man. So
tell me more.
D.R.A.M is I'm interested to see like the evolution of his music now that he has kind of reinvented his sound and like his goals. And from us getting somebody, I didn't know where he was from originally. So for us to get somebody else who is wildly talented from that area where the Clips is from, where Allen Iverson is from, where Mike Vick is from, like for us to have somebody in the R&B space,
where DJ Q is from, where Ronnie Rockets is from.
Yeah, for us to get more talent from that area, I'm super excited to see where he takes this shit, because like he's blazing his own. He's a trailblazer, and he's blazing his own path, and I'm looking forward to being a part of witnessing like where the journey takes him, and being able to consume the art and the product of his creation, man. So yeah, that's something good, man. D.R.A.M back in this thing. I'm sorry, Shelley's in this thing. FKA D.R.A.M, formerly known as